I'm Adam Willems, lead reporter at the Financial Revolutionist.
I'm Tracey Davies. I'm the President of Money2020.
Tracey, it's a pleasure to have you.
Well, thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm wondering first how the conference has been going for you, sort of any takeaways that you have already.
Well, we're now at Tuesday lunchtime.
Yes.
So, there's still a good way to go. But the way I always, if our customers are happy, then we're happy, and they seem very happy. So therefore, we're happy with what's going on. I think it's maybe a strange way to answer that question, but obviously, this is the place where people come to do business. There's thousands of companies and brands showing up this week, and that does really matter to us, right? We build this so they can do business, and the reaction and the feedback. As I say, it is only just approaching Tuesday lunchtime. Seems really strong. The press coverage, the socials. So yeah, for Tuesday lunchtime, I'm super happy.
Right, I'm glad to hear it. Tuesday lunchtime is as good a time as any to be happy, so that's great. Something that's interesting is I've definitely sort of sensed through interviews, not just my intuition or tinfoil hat, is a definite sort of greater optimism this year at Money2020 as compared to previous years, not due to organization, but just sort of, sector-wide or macro sort of related implications. And I'm wondering sort of how that sort of manifested for you on an organizational level, as far as interest in sort of speakers or sponsorships or attendance and different things like that.
Yeah, that's a really interesting. It's a really good question because we obviously know that there has been, certain challenges this year. I see that Silicon Valley Bank, obviously, are here as one of our partners, and we did something with them yesterday, and they were sort of saying, we're still here, and that's really important. But we did have moments during the year. But I agree with you. You can feel the energy when you come into a show, and I felt the energy felt different this year. I think there is, there is a resilience and an innovation drive in this industry. Like, I've worked in many industries, and it's, it is special in this industry. There is just a constant thirst for new and reinvention and opportunity. And, yesterday we announced, for the first time actually, because we're obviously built on startups, there are thousands of startups here.
Right.
We announced the 7 hottest startups, if you like. It's the first time we've really called out 7 ones to watch, I guess you could call it. And, that was a really, when you look at some of those founders, some of them are stealth and they've just sort of, announced themselves. And there's, a couple in there who are incredibly young. I think one of the founders is like 19, and just incredible products, incredible problems that they're solving. And I think that's what we love about this industry. It's just relentless sort of, innovation. And I think we're just feeling that this year, which is interesting because obviously some parts of the year have had some challenges. We know that. We're not sort of blind to that. But I think the spirit and the feel, on Sunday night, when Ben Horowitz was up there and then Ali Ghodsi, and that room was just packed. And, it was just, I think there is it feels like there's a real positivity and a spirit, which might run counter to what maybe people were expecting. But the buzz is good.
Right. And absolutely, it makes sense that Money2020 is sort of reflecting and reacting to shifts in fintech.
Yeah.
It also seems as though you're reacting to changes in the event space. I'm thinking about the launch of Twentyfold, for example, as sort of this tech-driven solution that's helping sort of fintechs and FIs and investors really maximize their ROI while on site.
Yeah.
I'm wondering sort of what the thought process was behind that launch and that sort of drive for tech to be core to the meetings.
Yeah, it's a great question because I think, on Sunday when I announced that, I think everyone thought, oh, well, they're going to announce another geography. Are they going here? Are they going there? And then suddenly, no, we're launching a digital product. And so I think maybe for the audience in the market that was like, oh, hold on, what's all this about? You're in an event company. Well, we don't see ourselves like that. Our purpose is to bring this industry together to do business. Twentyfold, which is our new digital intelligence platform, it's exactly serving the core need of the show. It's about, as you know, it's a digital product with 80,000 fintechs in it, and it's enabling VCs and others to identify early stage companies to do business faster. So we talk about ease and edge product, and that is exactly what we do here in a live capacity. So for us, it's a very natural sort of extension, if you like, or a different way of delivering what is our core purpose. So for us, it doesn't feel that odd. We're part of a big company who is steeped in the heritage of live events, but steeped in the heritage of digital products. So for us, it's sort of a natural evolution. But I know for the audience here, there was a bit of a gasp, I think, when I said that on Sunday night. Great pickup, and they are demoing, just endless demos all day. It's so much strong interest in the product. So for us, natural evolution. But I think for some people who surprise, I think it's quite good to surprise some people.
Yeah, catch people off guard.
Yeah, exactly.
One sort of follow up to that is I understand how something like Twentyfold complements in-person meetings. I wonder if there was internally when you were building it out any concern about something like Twentyfold obviating the need for people to attend something like Money2020 in person.
About 2 nanoseconds.
Sure.
We just don't believe that would be the case because, well, look, we saw that in COVID, and in COVID, we can all do great things digitally. Of course we can. We're human beings, and humans need to come together to do business, and that is even stronger post-COVID because people were deprived of that for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And I think what we see here, meetings are off the scale. It's just, people have realised the power and where an in-person meeting fits in the scheme of the relationship. Not all of the meetings, digital saves a lot of time. But I think people come here with an intention, and the senior folk are here, everyone is here across the ecosystem. You can get a lot done. You can meet people you can't meet anywhere else. There's also the serendipity of, you bump into people and, that kind of piece, as well as the very intention. So there is a place for digital in doing business, but there is a massive place for physical. You just can't. So for us, no, there isn't a thought process around that. They're just different ways of serving different parts of the audience to do more business. So,
sure.
No, we're firm believers, you may have gathered.
Yes.
Firm believers in the power of live, and I think the show this week shows that is a truth.
Absolutely. And similarly, I'd love to hear the thought process behind the launch of Money2020 Asia, where similarly, Money2020 Vegas, certainly I would consider sort of the seminal fintech event, at the very least for H2, probably of the year. How concerned are you about potentially sort of diluting the sort of core status of the Vegas show when you're starting to disperse elsewhere?
I think it's a good question, but as we know, money is global,
sure,
but it's also regional. And actually, when you look at the USA show, 80% of the attendance here is probably the Americas, and 20% rest of the world. Now that 20% rest of the world is a significant number because of the scale of the show. Something like over 90, 95 countries represented here. But it has a lens on the US market. And, we launched Europe in 2016 very successfully. It's, we announced the results in the summer. Incredibly strong growth that show has had. And it serves the European market. It's, again, 80% European, 20% rest of the world. And so, that is the model that we operate. Now, when you look at Southeast Asia, very similar. So, they complement each other.
Sure.
And many brands show up globally with us, and they will tell us their story through the year in 3 different markets, obviously slightly different emphasis. So, no, we've had Europe since 2016.
Right.
So,
right.
We are versed in this. And remember, we were in Asia before COVID, so we
True.
have successfully been there. This is our return to the market. But we took the choice to reevaluate where we were, and we really felt that Bangkok was a really exciting place to be. And our job is to represent the whole ecosystem of Southeast Asia. We're not country specific, but we need to have one home. So it's a great question because think, is Vegas the flagship. That
Right.
you understand the sort of regional dimension, you see how Asia fits in. The market in Asia is dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just an incredible market, very mobile-led, obviously. And we opened the doors in. I mean, I announced it here this time last year, and now it's only 6 months away. But I was announcing speakers. We've announced one of the very senior execs at MUFG, the world's seventh biggest bank, one of our keynotes. So now the speakers are being announced. We've announced great partners, commercial partners. So yeah, but the shows they serve a purpose in each of them.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I have 2 questions left.
Of course.
One is how you define success for a conference like Money2020.
Yeah.
Obviously, footfall is a big part of it, but there must be sort of other KPIs that you sort of keep front and center.
Customer satisfaction. So for us, it's all about customer satisfaction. For us, that's about customers coming back year over year, whether that be our delegates, whether that be our commercial partners. So are we satisfying our customers? Are we delivering ROI? And them coming back. And that is pretty much our sole focus. Of course, we do. You'll know that we have advanced strategies on diversity and inclusion, the diversity of our stages here, which has transformed over the past 5 years. So of course, we have other KPIs. But I think from a product perspective and how we approach the business, it's about serving customers, super serving customers, making sure, you've seen additions this year like Money Grow, which is a whole new product feature where we're working with our partners to deliver them new outcomes and ROI, and that's been incredibly successful. So it's quite singular in its focus, really.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Right, because without people returning, conference doesn't happen. So
it can be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. My last question is whether there are any questions I haven't asked that you feel like I should have.
No, I think you've given a good crop of questions there.
Great.
I think so. Maybe I could ask you a question.
Sure.
So for you, how does the show? You don't have to broadcast.
Sure.
I'm really keen to know.
Yeah.
For you, what does it enable in terms of who you can meet, etc. And my second question would be, what could we do better to make it better for you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That was a much harder question.
No. As far as improving things, I think I would love to see, and this isn't something I don't know that you could solve necessarily, but it still felt as though Money2020 has its meetings platform, but 97% of the meeting requests that I received were still via email, and so outside of the app. And so that just sort of required a much more manual sort of logistical process for locking down interviews, which is fine. I mean, it's part of the job, but it's interesting. Here's this great platform that could sort of make everything much more. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not really I don't have the prescriptions for how you can turn, but maybe PR agencies sort of encouraging them to use it more, something to that effect. Yeah, of course. And I think it's been great. I think really big brands here are hungry for press coverage and attention. And I think that's been really exciting, being able to sit down with a lot of major players that I think for a lot of the rest of the year have, far too little bandwidth to be able to sit down with, a newsletter with 35,000 subscribers. And this is really sort of an opportunity to hear from them, and then also sort of write harder hitting articles for the next few months, sort of based off of.
So it feeds your pipeline.
Exactly.
Which is great.
Feeds pipeline, pulls quotes, video content for us to use on social. So it's killing like 6 birds with one stone.
We've seen, it's just, I think this time last year we had about 164 strong press corps, which is good, right?
Yeah.
It's 300 plus this year. Plus we've seen broadcasters. So we're also seeing that more media are coming in and are hungry for the stories and the announcements.
Right.
And the brands are hungry. It's just such an important part of what we do here. It's not like, I know a lot of shows, it's sort of thing you do on the site. We see this sort of press involvement is just critical to it's part of the ROI that we deliver our customers, but also delivering back to you. So
absolutely.
But apparently interviewing you, you're interviewing me. Thank you.
No, it can be a two-way street, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, well, thanks again.